2019 season on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Dalvin Cook. He's back and coming off a big game a weekend ago. Coming up, we'll see the visiting Minnesota Vikings taking on the Detroit Lions. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They've been buoyed by getting 2 home games right at the start, and they come off a good victory in Week 1.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they come into this one after a loss in the opener, and they're in for another tough test here.
And what a battle for an organization to look at your schedule and see 2 road games to start the season and not have a letdown immediately. You got to fight against that. They've got to come out ready to play.
So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Leading them out is their 6'2 quarterback who was a 4th-round pick back in 2012, Kirk Cousins.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
A first down throw for Cousins. Looking for his tight end Rudolph, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29, and he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
Brandon, when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach and talked about how they wanted to begin this game offensively, they talked about their script, didn't they? 10 to 15 plays, the first 10 to 15 they had on their script. Nowhere on the script was there throwing an interception, I have to believe.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Over the middle, it's caught by Rodgers. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. They'll set up a throw. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead. They scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now first-quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they score in opening weekend are going to hold up and be the average all year long, they're certainly starting to set that type of a pace. And what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents, we've got to really be ready on defense because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
You think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes could prove risky. There it worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
The starters now on offense, and Stephon Diggs, our first chance to see him today.
Brandon, remember we had this conversation about how highly recruited he was in high school. Didn't quite live up to it in college due to some injuries, but boy, has he hit the NFL like a bomb. Stephon Diggs, a crafty, mature route runner who can go the distance.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. The numbers a week ago for Cook. 25 carries, 94 yards.
They look like a team that really emphasized the running game in the offseason. They were going to build around it. Didn't matter if they're going to run gap scheme, power scheme, whatever. They've got a runner who finds yardage if you give him just a little bit of space.
They run again on first down, Cook. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, here's Cousins. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. He'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to bring up a fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice and it all came together. But I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
The numbers for him from a week ago, 13 catches, 79 yards.
And they think they have a matchup advantage in this one. They're going to try and find some space for him to work and make sure he touches the football.
On play action, they'll throw. Wide open receiver complete. Past the 20. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Lions strike quickly here for 6 points. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to it. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is up to 15 now. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can...
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Frank Clark in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
A good return there, 17 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Our first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from Green Bay. Early lead in that one for the Packers. Aaron Rodgers, a first-quarter touchdown pass in that one. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something.
And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. Doing it again with his third touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Lions add on to their lead.
Well, Brandon, if we go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator, he showed us his script. Didn't show us everything now. He said, here's the script for the game. I think everything's going according to plan in a big way. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's about as good. That is as good as you can do, I guess. So, well done.
Yeah, well done indeed. Tremendous execution.
And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further. And the formula there on the 2-point try to go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
Listen to me.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be second and 6. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
It's a loss of 2, now third down. We were just talking about him pregame. 3 tackles for a loss. Last week you thought he looked so explosive on film. Starting off good there. Another one in the first quarter.
He's every bit of what you described. And I don't want to make it too simplistic, but right now for him, it's see ball, get ball. And that's what he's doing really, really well, and he's doing it in the offense's backfield.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
I think the training and practice broke down on that play because he simply didn't run the route deep enough to get to the first down marker, despite what was a really nice catch and toe tap on the sideline.
Well, that's third down 101. You got to go to the marker, know where it is. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? What a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
And now he'll tuck it and run. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Give him 4 yards as he does it himself, and it's a first down.
Partner, I know we're in the era of the mobile quarterback, but there's still an element of surprise when that position keeps the football, and what a nice gain on that play.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Moody. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Now back to throw. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
Well, after watching him ring the bell that many times and put the ball in the end zone throwing it, you had to figure they had to bring some type of pressure. They had to change things up on defense.
And able to get to him, put him on the ground, so maybe just something to throw him off a little bit.
Yeah, that had to feel a lot better for the defensive guys. They've been getting carved up in this one. To finally knock him on the ground and force an incompletion, that's got to be a sigh of relief.
Third catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a first down. A pretty sizable deficit here in the first quarter. This defense probably need to get off the field in those situations on third down.
And you and I both know in this huddle before that last third down play, that's exactly what they talked about. Let's make a play. Let's get off the field. Let's reverse the momentum. Instead, they got hit with another first down, almost back to the drawing board.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Vikings pick up the football. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Trot it. There he goes, right side. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. And that's a linebacker showing he can move pretty good with a football in his hand.
That's not just a short shuttle now. He took it and went a pretty good distance, didn't he? Did you get the 40 time on that?
I didn't, but he got 6 points out of it. I know that in a great play for that defensive unit. PAT up and good by Rosas. And that will get him one closer. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. To return, here's Agnew. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. They're right back out there after watching the fumble go the other way. Still in control of this game, but that needs to serve as a wake-up call because they're not in the clear yet.
No, the message should be clear that fortunes can change pretty quickly when you turn the ball over. You've got to take care of it, otherwise that lead could slip away quickly.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. At the end of one, but it's the Lions that have the early lead. We're back to the Motor City after this. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a second and short yardage to start things out.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. No. Check. Patriot. Gun.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the play. His big game continues. Already has the 3 touchdown grabs, tacking on some more yardage and a first down.
And how precise has his route running been in this game? We just saw him get open yet again, and he's also made adjustments as the defense has tried to really stop him.
He'll drop to throw. And an alley to run. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. They get only a yard there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Pass.
They'll drop the throw. Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. Their mobile, agile quarterback on his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. And now once again, they'll line up to go for 2. So a quarterback scramble, certainly a pass play, but he saw something, tucked it, and got in the end zone.
A lot of quarterbacks, when they scramble, they're scrambling to create more time to throw the ball downfield. In this situation, as you noted, he tucked it and took off. Great play by him.
Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now a play fake here on first down. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Here's Cousins. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now Cousins. Throw left side complete. That's Morgan. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
To the air again, it's Cousins. And that is incomplete.
We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass. Defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything is working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a bead on you, maybe you mix it up a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Moody. And they'll get him down here at the 23. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
4 down. Back 99, Philly, here we go. All right, now, lucky 56.
They'll try and throw for it here. And he's got Rodgers. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So not only do they convert on 4th, but they pick up 22 yards in the process. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
He'll look to throw, escaping the pressure right. Man open right side, it's Rodgers. 19. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up first and goal.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1 yard line. A good run, 8 yards there, and it'll be second and goal. That's what they wanted out of that first down play. Run it down there. Now they're knocking on the door.
The only thing that would have been better was getting it in, and now they can do whatever they want because they've got confidence on their side. Line up quickly and go. They're savored a little bit, but I run right back at them.
They're held again, and do we have a goal line stand brewing? It's third and goal. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his second week of the regular season. On third down, it's Hughes, and he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Lions have got it on cruise control. And that moment we just saw, always so special for any rookie, the first touchdown of his career.
And there's nothing like anticipation, is there? You know he's been dreaming about it, thinking about it. It's been a part of every bit of his being. And finally, it gets done. He's got to feel great right now.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. 12 yards there as they move the chains. First down. Here's Cousins. And complete to Moncrief over the middle. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. To throw is Cousins. And complete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. A gain of 6 there on first.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
The Vikings first down. Diggs able to find his way free and get the catch from Cousins.
3rd and 4 is always a tough call. Maybe a little too long to run for it, but not too long to hit him on the quick slant. And that was well executed. Found the window and zipped it right in there.
Cousins going for his running back, and he's got him complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Cousins again. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. And now the Lions going to stop this momentarily as they call a timeout. As the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. He's been terrific so far. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball that coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. The Lions on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. They're going to look to throw. They'll roll him out right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. So we've reached halftime here in Detroit with the Lions out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll begin up at legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay, and it's the Packers who have the lead as that game approaches halftime. T.J. Jones, a touchdown reception. Next, we're off to Baltimore to check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Browns in that one. Baker Mayfield with a couple of touchdown passes. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And this one going the visitors' way as the Texans have the lead in that one. Lamar Miller, a touchdown run. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race. Very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. To return, here's Agnew. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them.
And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Sheldon Richardson busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
All right, now, look at 56. Look.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times. Tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. Forced out to his left. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
Well, it's not going to be a first down, but that's a nice job of picking up yardage on 3rd and long. Sometimes you just have to take what the defense gives you, and in this case, it wasn't enough to pick up the first down.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They're going to try and throw. Throw left side complete. That's Moody. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They go play action here on first down. He'll buy some time right. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll set up a throw. Over the middle, it's caught by Rodgers. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. He'll pick up 7 there on the first down keeper.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They'll run it now out of the gun. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense. They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got just pin their ears back and get after him now.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone. Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Cousins on 3rd and 2. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And last time, the fumble, the turnover. Now they still have the lead, but I don't think coaches care. The turnovers will bother them no matter what the scoreboard says.
Yeah, that's the relief, that you still have the lead. But coaches look at what if and what it should be. Turning the ball over when they get a chance to score more points and increase the lead, that's what's going to affect them.
And they're also thinking to future weeks, maybe when the game's closer, right?
No doubt about it. You want to clean up everything. Let's just be honest about it.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Sheldon Richardson in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess.
No, check. Patriot!
On play action, they'll throw. Sliding out of the pocket. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
3rd and long, dare we say 3rd and a mile. Pass rushers in sprinter stances, they know they've got a chance to get after him on this play. And somehow he finds a way past them, gets away, and takes off and picks up a first down. Can you believe it? Wow.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL. Back now at Ford Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Back to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Moody. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, this is caught inside the 15. And he is out of bounds, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not...
And he will score! Touchdown, Lions! Their mobile quarterback, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Lions just continue to pour it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. So out now come the Lions. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. And
they got his man complete. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. And give him a gain of 37.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around to make the play on the football.
11 more on that one and another 1st down. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Yeah, everyone dialed in.
No. Check. Patriot. Look at 56.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And here he'll get it down to the 7. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
Some good, strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. In for the score. And the Lions have got it on cruise control. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Cousins now to throw on first down. Over to the right side, caught by Moncrief. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Working out of the gun, Cousins. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And they get 10 yards there and convert on 3rd. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Cousins now on 2nd down. Left side caught by Diggs. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. A 1st down throw for Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. On 2nd down, Cook. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. From the gun, here's Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Now Aldrich Rosas for the field goal attempt. This from 54 yards away. And Rosas puts this one through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
And Detroit getting set to go now. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and
the Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. It's a big play there for the Lions. 59 yards. So another catch, more yards, and now enough yards to break the single game record.
it seemed inevitable the way this game went that the yards record would fall, and we got to see it. We got to witness it, and the crowd is so excited to watch another NFL record fall.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle.
And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Sheldon Richardson getting him once again, his third sack of the afternoon. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be fourth down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on second down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And it's a fumble, and the Vikings pick up the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had gained really good yardage, but that's what you tell your quarterbacks, right? Get down after you got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. You know, I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys. Get the yardage, get down, protect the football, and protect yourself from extra hits as well.
They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Detroit, they use the favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll get a home date next week against the Kansas City Chiefs. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next.